I know we're just wrapping up one school year, but I guess some people are already thinking ahead to the next school year. What about sending your kid to boarding school? Do you like that concept or not? Now, this is a husband and wife that can't agree on boarding school for their kid. And it says in their email, my husband is from Boston, and he went to a boarding school. He's a great man, and he credits his success to the boarding school. He said it is the way to get yourself focused at a key part in life so that when you get to college or your secondary learning, you really have focus and you know how to attack that part of it rather than meandering into it and taking 4 years to figure yourself out. He thinks he set himself 4 to 5 years ahead of anybody else that did not go to boarding school, and he thinks our son needs this same opportunity that he had.
Can you visit your child every day if you wanted to, if they're at boarding school?
I don't think so. I think they go away, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, typically it is away. Typically it's not going to be close to where you live. So if you send them to a boarding school, there's a lot in the Northeast. My daughter, one of her childhood friends, she actually went to a boarding school in Switzerland.
Oh, my.
And she's from Wellington. So
how'd it turn out for her?
I think great. I think she's doing very well. And, you know, for what she wanted to do, it was like one of the best schools you could go to.
For me, as a parent, I would be heartbroken to have Rocco or Magnolia, my children, go to a boarding school and then I don't see them every day. I'm not a part of their life. Mm-hmm. I don't get to talk with them, hang out with them, parent them. I would feel disconnected and sad.
I feel the same way. Now, maybe it's about the normalcy of the family. He said in his family, it's very normal. A lot of people go away to boarding school, but I think it's kind of a Northeastern type of thing. You know, he's from Boston, and so he said it's just something that they've done, and they don't think anything of it.
The Northeast also sends kids to sleepaway camp all summer. And I was always like freaked out by that too. Like you go someplace and you're away from your family for 2 months. Like it just seems very disconnected. I don't want that for my kids because I enjoy my kids. Maybe if you don't like your kids, you send them to boarding school or sleepaway camp.
If they go to sleepaway camp and boarding school, do you even know your kids?
Do you even have a kid?
Yes, at that point, I think you just have a line item expenditure, don't you?
I mean, you are raising a fiercely independent individual. I'll give you that side of it. To this little person is going to grow up to be not codependent, never need anybody, so fiercely able to take care of everything on their own. But I don't know. I would miss them too much.
Sleepaway camp sounds way more fun than boarding school.
I think they both sound terrible, but what do I know? My family never had the money for either one, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this might be a rich people problem.
It is. It's a wealthy thing, and think about the money it would cost to send your kid to a sleepaway camp or to boarding school. It's probably like college tuition.
Yeah, I feel that way. Now, you could argue, I understand the argument that your kid is going to be 5 years ahead. It really sets them up. After they get done with their schooling, then, of course, you can reconnect. But you're missing valuable time you don't get back. And those memories that you create while they're home during a school year, going and watching them play sports and do that kind of stuff, to me, I couldn't fathom it. I really couldn't. I do not like the idea. My wife had brought it up, and I was like, no way. I can't do that.
Well, family dinners, movie together, going out, picnics.
You always see in movies and shows, though, the one kid that's not getting it done right, he's or she's a discipline problem, and they send them away to boarding school where they learn, how to be disciplined.
If I had a really bad kid, I guess I would want to send them away to juvie or something like that. But if you have a great kid and if you love your kid, don't you miss them?
To me, the boarding school is a last resort, not the first resort. That's how I would take it. If I had an issue where my parenting is not working and all we're doing is creating a larger rift, better to turn them over to somebody else to let them deal with the discipline and trying to get them straight, because I clearly couldn't get through to them. But otherwise, I want to be the biggest influence on my kid's life, not instructors I don't know that well at a boarding school. I don't care what the reputation is.
And I guess I'm just raising soft kids that are going to need me and want to be with me, but that's the way I want it. I don't want like these kids out in the world at age 10.
Yeah. Now, the argument for the dad is saying, look, he's going to be missing out. It will put him ahead. And the kid also wants to go. And that's a big part of it. The dad has gotten to him and he sees the benefit, and the kid is thinking that he's like, hey, I will be ahead of anybody else my age if I can go to this boarding school, and I want to be that.
And some people go away, some kids go away for athletic reasons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a camp, a school called IMG that is in Bradenton, and that is for people who are athletes. They have football players and tennis players and golf and all that stuff, and they send their kid there, and they do half of the day is doing their scholastics. The other half is learning their sport so that they can be great. You think about kids that are playing at a higher level. A lot of times those kids went to that kind of school, like an IMG, and they're achieving amazing things, and then they make a lot of money. And I mean, does it affect their family, or can they reconnect with their parents? That would be the hardest thing for me. I would need assurances that we're not going to have a stranger that we go see at graduation, and then they're like, okay, well, thanks for giving me the opportunity, and then they move away. And you're like, yeah, we had a kid, didn't really ever see him, don't know much about him. They seem to be doing great, though. They're making a ton of money.
Thanks for birthing me, Mom and Dad. Bye.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know. I feel like that's so disconnected, and I love family time. And I know I get it. Like it's preparing them, but I don't know. It would break my heart. To me, like the best thing about parenting is the daily fun family things you do.
Right.
The dinners, the playing together, the Uno games, the going to the movies, the going to the park, teaching them how to ride a bike, like playing in the yard, like that, the daily stuff you wouldn't get.
That's what I think as well. And so for me, even if it would set my kid up to be a bigger success, I if that was the option, don't really have these memories in your child's childhood or them just being a huge success. I think I'm gonna be like, I'd rather have time with them. I think life is, that's what life's about, is spending time together and making memories as a family. So to me, the other stuff is kind of fleeting. I think you can catch up. There are plenty of people that have been massive successes that didn't go to boarding school.
Amen.
It's not like that's the only ticket that you have to get there. So we asked, should this mom just let her kid go because she was fighting a fight against her kid and her husband? And 55% said yes. And maybe that's because the kid wants to go as well. They're like, that's the problem with the kid wanting to go.
That's the problem.
You're likely going to have resentment if you don't let him.
You're right. If I can tell you right now, Rocco and Magnolia, neither one of them would have wanted to go. So that's the perspective I'm looking at it from. Like, my kids would not have been down with that. But if this kid wants to go, now it makes it even harder for the mom.
Yeah. Panchita said, why don't you just try it for 1 year? And maybe that's it. You can say, hey, look, this is not something where I'm signing off on the next 4 years. Sounds like maybe he's getting ready to go into high school or somewhere around there. And so that's maybe what they're looking at. Be like, it's something where we have this same discussion after every year. And maybe that might be the way to do it. Now, some of the comments in the chat room, somebody said, yeah, Guy Fieri credits his success to going to France at a young age and learning the culinary skills over there. And if his parents hadn't sent him away, that he would not be what he is today. And imagine if he traded out everything that he has, his food empire, just because his mom wanted him to stay home so she could have time with him.
It's tough. And there's no predictor that'll tell you whether or not your kid was going to be a Guy Fieri or not.
Yeah.
There's just no way for you to know. But selfishly, as a selfish mother, I want those moments. I want to be there for their birthdays. I want to be there for their important things. I want to meet the people they're dating. If they start dating at boarding school, you're not going to know.
My mom signed me and my little sister up for a camp that was just right down the street at our school for the summertime, and she signed us both up, and then the day we're getting ready to go, you're not going. I'm afraid you're going to get kidnapped. Like, all right. So we never even went.
Right.
We signed up for camp and never was allowed to go.
Yeah, so it sounds like if you got a kid that really wants to go, just giving them that opportunity, you really, especially if the other parent is all into it, I think I probably would reluctantly sign off on it and let it happen. and just see what happens. So, sometimes it's the type of child as well. Somebody texted and said, not every kid's going to be right for boarding school.
That is a big factor. I think the fact that her son really wants to go, that is tugging on her. If he didn't want to go, it would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But he really wants to go. His dad has sold it onto him. His dad has told him that he went.
Yeah.
Ugh, this is tough.
Yeah, and somebody sent this stat. I don't know if it's real, but it says 80% of the time you spend with your kids is in the first 18 years. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's what it feels like to me. I feel like there's just so much of life because, look, I've got adult kids, and I know I've got one that's in Chicago that I cherish the time when I get to see him because it's not often, and that's what I would think. You don't know. Like, my kid went away right away for college, and then he's been gone ever since. And we don't see him a ton, not nearly as much as I'd like.
Dang.
Yeah,
Dang.
that's the reality of it.
Daddy's missing those moments from when he was little.
Well, luckily
You don't
I got him
realize
in.
how special they
Yeah.
are when you're in them.
Yeah. And I've always tried to have a good realization. I'd say, hey, when you're in this moment, be present, lock this in, because this is some of the best moments of your life. You're going to cherish these one day.
That's life in general. Sometimes
It
you don't
is.
even realize you're going through the greatest moment of your life, and you don't know until it's gone.
And make them magical. Make them magical with your mood. Make them magical because those moments are going to be over and they're going to go to college and, like Kevin's son, move to Chicago, and then you're going to be sad, just like Kevin.
I think Kevin's sad for other reasons.
Yeah, got a lot. It's a long list.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.